Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to teach you how to build a chess opening repertoire for Blitz and Bullet. You might be wondering how people manage to put together such a huge repertoire and, how they can play so fast and use different openings. So I'm going to show you what you can do to build your own repertoire. So look, let me give you an example. I put here Sicilian defense, right, which is when I play pawn to e4 and the opponent plays this opening, which is aggressive, they respond with c5. So now, I'm going to show you what you can do to create your own style, your own opening. It can even be, sometimes, for a game that you manage to set up for classical chess, for standard chess. So what happens? Now, if you want to surprise your opponent, you're going to start testing and looking at the variations here. Check this out. See? This move here, it's not very common. You don't usually see people playing it, because you block your bishop and you block your queen from coming out, right? You put it here for development. But look, if you check how the variation stands, yeah, there hasn't been a loss, you haven't lost many points, you're still equal in the game, meaning you kind of let black play. So now, in chess, you're developing and it's going to give you suggestions, and you'll start inputting the computer's moves to see how your move holds up. And then what happens? Now, that was just an example, right? Playing this knight here, now you're going to start testing what the main moves are and how you can surprise your opponent. You can try this one here, then you see that you gave a little advantage to your opponent since you're playing black, but you can start testing other things. Look here, you gave a small advantage, but nothing major. You play here, you see? And you saw which move is the right one. And you'll start inputting the moves into the computer, based on your own creativity. One move I discovered by doing this was the Mangarini variation, which is when your opponent plays here, you get into these variations where you give up a pawn to your opponent, but you control the center. And then they'll have to note, yeah, see? This knight move to the edge of the board is a very specific move, one that only the computer points out to you. So, if you're already prepared with this, you'll Conti start preparing, like 5 to 10 moves ahead, knowing all of them from the opening. Since you'll be preparing a new opening, your opponent won't know how to respond there. Do I expect that, 10 moves ahead, he'll respond perfectly to everything? Yes, it's possible he might manage, but it's really hard for someone to get 10 moves ahead right, because there are millions of variations. And look, another thing, he'll have to, let's suppose, in this move here, the right move is to play the queen here. But I've only seen about 3 people do this so far, because it's a really hard move, it's very counterintuitive. You're going to put it in the pin here, after the rook. Right? So it's a really tough move to pull off and only if the person really knows it, but I can guarantee you it's very rare for someone to know this move here. So what happens? Most of the time, the person ignores it and here you already start to gain an advantage, right, in this kind of opening I'm showing you. You play here and then, look at what my opponent has to do. He has to move the king to the square here. He has to move the king to the square here. It's really hard to do that. It's really hard. Usually people go back, and then look, here the right move is this one. I think also, let me just check here with you. No, it's this one, right, this order. You play here, then your opponent says, huh, he gave me this, you take, and he lost castling and lost a piece. See how it is? So that's how you're going to start building your opening repertoire. Oh, the player played the French. Let's start working on this here. This move isn't one of the main ones, but you're going to start working on it so you can catch your opponent by surprise. That's the goal, and that's what you want with this. Did they play the French? So what's the right move here now? Then you'll start running it through the computer. Oh, this is the right one. A lot of times they won't play this, because they'll want to play a regular French. So what now? Now you can work on it, what if I play here? Again, have it do this. If your opponent wants to go for the regular French, there will come a point where you'll get the upper hand, because they'll need to know a very precise move and you'll get it right. That's when you gain the advantage over them. Let's do a traditional one. Let's say you played here and you don't want to go into those standard lines. Let's try something like this. And he played it. Look, the right move here now is to break through here, see? It's really hard for someone to do that. They'll want to go into a traditional line. Stick to your plan. Have them play here, capture, castle. If they make a mistake, you already begin to play your prepared moves. So, it's in this kind of thing that you'll be able to prepare for a tournament. It's here that you'll find your own style, that you'll be able to build your own opening line, your own repertoire. You start by testing. You play, oh, you played here. What can we do differently? What can you do differently? Look, I know this is wrong, right? It's against the principles of chess. You're going to test. You're going to start testing, like, this is different, but then, what's the right move? You played. What's the right move? Look, the right move here is to play the pawn to d3 before the bishop. And you keep practicing, take the computer and keep playing. You'll see that around move 5 to 7, you'll need to know a very specific move, and that's when you get it. That's the advantage of stepping away from the traditional and using computer lines. Yeah, let's look for something else here. This is pretty crazy, isn't it? But look, you're studying. Now you've seen that if he plays the bishop, it's not the best move. Why? Because if he plays here, you have this fork. Look how cool that is. So, that's what you need to get, folks. Here's my recommendation. Pick a line and study it up to about move 10. Let's take one here. Let's play in Italian. Played here. Study this, look. Study the Evans Gambit. And then he goes, we've already started. Look, if he played this one here, that's already wrong. He didn't play the main line, which is over here, and then you're going to study what that is. If he goes back, if he takes, did he take? He took. Did he come back to give the check again? Knight over here. You have to know these main variations of the line you're studying, because you can't make a mistake. You're playing a line that's not the main one, a line that's not the most correct, but in exchange, you have to count on your opponent not getting all the moves right. And look, of course you're going to find here, yeah, some moves that have 0.3, 0. Even up to a point of advantage, 1.3, I don't know. Depending on whether the line is very sharp, very hard to find, you might be using it to count on your opponent making a mistake, right? So what happens then? Would this be wrong here? It would be, but you can also be studying a line like this one here. Here, look, the right move is to do this here. And he has to come, look, coming here is already a mistake, right? It's already a mistake. You have to move your bishop, castle, play, and look how much you develop. You've already gained, like, a 0.6 advantage here. Of course, but look at your center, how much control you have. This is just an example, okay, folks? But look at how much your center is controlled, your pieces are developed, and the opponent is kind of going to get lost, because if he doesn't play this here, if he's only used to playing a traditional line, like he came here in the Ruy Lopez, right? Let's suppose he played here. Look, another way, let's try to surprise the opponent. He played here, yeah, did it. You're going to start testing this here. You need to use the computer, find a line you like best. Oh, I prefer a more closed line. So, there's a closed line too. There's a closed line. Play here, and if the opponent plays here, look, test this out, right? The main move, but you'll be in your own territory, in the area you like. Oh, I like to play closed lines. Test this here in the way you play, in your own style, and start practicing lines that aren't common, around move 5 to move 10, right? And here you'll practice what it means when the opponent can't make a mistake. If they mess up, you punish them. That's how you build a repertoire for blitz, bullet, and also, if it's not too risky, if it's a move you can pull off, you'll be training for classical as well. Alright, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to prepare an opening repertoire to surprise your opponent, alright? Thanks. Give it a like if you watched the video up to this point, if you enjoyed it, if it helped you in any way. I show how I prepare my openings, how I set up my opening lines to surprise my opponent. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm sure it can't be that you still haven't subscribed. And subscribe to the channel, give it a like, because that really helps us reach. Now let's hit 1,000 subscribers, alright? Thank you so much to everyone who followed the channel, really appreciate it.